Muted, sick. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Mars. Let's try that again, shall we? Welcome back once more, family, to our executive roundtable. I apologize for that. I'm still very much a noob. As I was trying to state earlier today, me and my executive held our roundtable where we looked into a lot of in-depth analysis into insights in regards to what's going to take place in the coming weeks and year to follow in 2026, how bullish is likely going to be. By the time of recording that, we saw that Bitcoin was actually around 86,000 or so. Bitcoin was actually not up when we were recording that roundtable earlier today, but it's completely flipped in the past hour or two, where Bitcoin is now up 3% at $90,000, and Kaspa was one of the few assets that was actually up today, up about 3%, but now Kaspa is up 10.7% on the daily time frame, valued at 5.6 cents. So, as I tried to gain my bearings again after being muted, honestly, I can't believe I continuously keep doing that. I know why I do it, but I keep doing it time and time again. But if you look at the market chart right now, Bitcoin is now rallying, which is good to see. And we're now seeing, of course, Kaspa rally significantly more so as well. As we have been highlighting in these streams, what we need to see for Kaspa to continue in its momentum, for us to see a confirmed uptrend for Kaspa, in my belief, is Kaspa surpass and hold this zone here at around 5.5. If we can hold above that, fantastic. So we're past it now. We saw it go past it a lot higher earlier. Kaspa actually have been up a total of about 13% today, reaching about 5.7 cents. Right now, Kaspa's at 5.59, 5.6 cents. If Kaspa can hold above and hold within the support band right now, it's a good possibility Kaspa will make that return back up to hopefully back up to the 6 cents. We'd like to believe and hope that Kaspa could hopefully regain inside this massive triangle, that this symmetrical triangle that we had drawn out a while back. So I have to wait and see if that comes to fruition or not, but Kaspa right now is showing a hell of a lot of strength, which is proof that the buyers are very much in control right now of Kaspa's price action. Very much in control. Now, we've got a lot of sources to cover in today's stream, some fundamental news to kind of support why the market might be moving the way it is right now. Alongside other things as well, and of course some Kaspa news, some Zebec news, and some Ondo news as well, alongside other stuff as well. But as always, family, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, turn on that post notification bell so you know when I am going live. And with that being said, family, welcome back once again. We have Mr. Mars first. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. Mila second. Welcome back. Good to have you here. And you two, LB, on the check-in. As always, welcome back, brother. And Brett, it's early. Yes, I'm a lot earlier today because I'm going to be busy at the usual time. So I figured I'd at least get one out today, as always. Big Coswallop in. Baby Daddy, welcome back, my man. In the house before the street lights are on. Good to have you here, brother. And you two, Double D, welcome back. And yes, I know, muted. Cypher, thank you very much for the notification as well. I apologize for that. I'm still a noob. Still have these mishaps every now and then. But thank you for letting me know. Welcome back, Rizzy, as well. Kaspa is roaring. Yes, Kaspa is doing very well, as I mentioned. I did my executive roundtable at 3 today, so that's about 5. No, not even 5. 3 hours ago from now. And 3 hours ago, we look on the hourly chart. Bitcoin was valued at around 87, 86k. Wasn't really moving. All this momentum for Bitcoin happened in the past hour or two. Bitcoin's just soared up to around 90,000, and Kaspa around this time frame was doing okay. It was valued at around 5 cents or so, 5.5. It was up like 3% or so, and now Kaspa is up a total of 10.5%, which is great to see. Kaspa again quite comfortably being one of the performers in this market right now. Doesn't mean we're going to be thrown to the moon necessarily straight away. Don't be emotional, be logical. This is what happens in the market chart, but right now the buyers are most definitely in control. And this is for me proof that there's still a lot of belief behind Kaspa. You know, despite the price being terrible for such a long period of time, there's still a lot of belief in Kaspa. Hence why, again, what we've got to understand right now is that with this volatility into Kaspa right now, this price appreciation, in the situation that Bitcoin does end up correcting and more headwinds come through, which is always possible, it means the bottom for Kaspa won't be as low, in theory. Because if Kaspa had continued to act exactly as Bitcoin had done, Kaspa would probably be valued at around 4.5, maybe 5 cents at most right now. It wouldn't be up as much as it is right now, which means that when Bitcoin starts to see more headwinds and comes down, Kaspa will come down a lot further as well. It can still lose this lower low. We're not out of the clear just yet. But with Kaspa making such incredible gains, outperforming Bitcoin in the past couple of days, now up about 10% today as well. Should Bitcoin see headwinds and Bitcoin come back down to 81k or even lower, Kaspa's bottom wouldn't necessarily be as low as the 1 cent that people are saying. Maybe it'd be about 2 or 3 cents instead. This is good to see, and it gives us a higher floor for Kaspa as well, which is very reassuring. Again, we want to see Kaspa hold above 5.5 today, finish the daily time frame above 5.5 cents, and then hopefully that'll be a catalyst to see Kaspa trade within this support band, hopefully break above 6 cents, and then we want to see Kaspa trying to surpass this resistance triangle here. If we get into this asymmetric triangle, then I have a lot of confidence that Kaspa will hopefully start trading within this band again. But it does, again, of course, depend on Bitcoin and its price action, which I mentioned to my VIPs that I think we are likely to see a bit of a relief rally from here. Not necessarily a blow off top, but a relief rally, which could be reassuring for Kaspa to regain some much needed price action. And we'll see where it goes from there, honestly. Should have moved my Wero into Kaspa last week. Hey, you know, it is what it is in hindsight, right? End of the day, it's good to at least have an idea, right, in regards to what's happening. And Kaspa's still moving in itself. It's still good. All is still good. Kaspa top 50 again. If we look at CMC, when I have a look, actually, CMC Kaspa right now is in 52. So Kaspa is making that gain back up again. Look, in the last 7 days, up 36%. We filter it in regards to, this is what we can see. Monad has number top, then SPX 690, 69,000, 6,900, sorry, 6,900. Kaspa right now is number 3. Kaspa right now, in the last week, has been one of the best performers, quite comfortably. And in the daily, again, CMC is not the most accurate in regards to the time frame because, but it is still showing Kaspa right now is one of the best performers right now. So evidently, Kaspa's seen the momentum, seen the strength, which is fantastic news all around. We cannot complain about that. Reassuring news, to say the least. I need to get back to the actual box standard one. Crypto Mindset yesterday said he's shorting Kaspa. I mean, I'm not surprised. We've been bearish on Kaspa for a very, very long time. That's perfectly fine. Again, however you want to trade or invest is up to you. I don't know too much about Crypto Mindset. I'm not too well versed in his content. I do know he does a lot of technical analysis, which is fine. But if the cycle's proven to anybody one thing, is that technical analysis by itself is not enough. You can make gains, of course, how I've made gains from TA alone. I've had many other successful mates in this space and people I know who have done it purely based off technical analysis, but it is not enough. Because if you did just based on technical analysis, you would have lost out a lot of capital on October 10th. And even more so recently as well, because TA alone does not let you know this is what's going to happen. Kaspa right now is seeing a lot of momentum and there are critical zones that could prevent Kaspa from breaking above it. These levels of resistance here are going to be quite tough for us to break above. This one here at 6 cents will be quite tough. The biggest one will be this asymmetric triangle here, this trend line. If we could break above that and hold above that and start trading back up into the 8 cent zone again, that would be huge, very huge. What we need to see ideally for Kaspa to have this confirmed, bullish trend upwards to hopefully see the euphoric prices coming back up again for Kaspa. The belief you want to see it surpass the 9 cents, even 10 cent zone here. The critical one being up here at 12, but those are quite a future. I would like to believe that could take quite some time. Kaspa, of course, can rally up quickly, but I don't see any catalyst in the immediate short term that would cause Kaspa to jump up to as high as 12 cents in the next, let's say, month or two. We've got some good catalysts coming out, though, like smart contracts, like stablecoin adoption, like the ending of QT, like rate cuts, all this sort of stuff that will help. But again, right now, I think we're seeing a much needed relief rally, which is great. We'll see where it goes from there, of course. Don't worry for being muted. We know you're under the UK government. Fair enough indeed. Yeah, completely right there. If we hit 6 cents, then we'll reverse the bearish momentum. Maybe. If we hit 6 cents Kaspa and we surpass that, I mean, we've seen here when we lost this support trend line here and we came down, the top we saw 6 cents. So surpassing 6 cents would be a good indicator that Kaspa could likely make a move back up to the 8 or 9 cents zones. But until we surpass as high as 12 cents, I wouldn't believe we're in a confirmed reversal, and therefore Kaspa's going to make an all-time high in the immediate future. I think that's going to happen this cycle, especially considering this cycle has extended. We spoke about that in a lot of detail in my executive roundtable earlier today, with pure confirmation now, or as anything is confirmation about how the cycle's currently behaving and how this is an extended cycle, and therefore, if you've got until mid to late 2026, Kaspa's got more than enough time to regain all that price and then some, with what is going to be one of the most explosive years coming forward. I like to wholeheartedly believe, of course not financial advice, but Kaspa's doing very, very well. Plus 6 cents would be a good sign for more relief in the market, no doubt. It is just will soon drop again. Hype not, but I mean, again, that's why I'm trying to highlight, don't be emotional. Be logical. Kaspa's doing very, very well today, and much needed relief rally, but by no means is confirmation that Kaspa's going to be in a bullish uptrend going against the market right now. Kaspa's doing well today, and we can't, we've got to give its praise when we see it, give its praise when it's due. But don't be emotional. Be logical. Understand this is just right now, the demand is rallying against the price. That could also flip quite quickly as well, depending. We have this website here, courtesy of, I think it's Coin Athlete. No, it's Super Typo here, who has created a new explorer, if you will, which is basically what Kaspa is, but except I like this one a little bit more, in all honesty. It has a lot more available, a lot more, I think, better UI. You can see here in regards to what's taking place, the payloads, the KYC 20 transaction in the last hour, Casplex's layer 2s, the Cassia messaging. It looks like there's a lot more going on than I realized. The NFT stuff, and equally this K social, which is of course not gaining as much traction just yet, but I'm sure it will do in the future. But it's got everything here you'd want to see. Equally, you can see the addresses, as you could see on Kaspa. We can see right now where the transactions are coming through right now. We've seen today that this Wallet One Aquaman has seen about 1 billion Kaspa outflows, interestingly. So interesting way to see where that's going from right now. But you're seeing the inflows and outflows over the past day, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. You can see the top addresses here as well. Entity. Oh, so that's just Aquaman. Sorry, I apologize. That's just Aquaman, not Wallet One. So that's highlighting again the Aquaman, which used to be Mexi, was an Aquaman, is now dropped below that now. You can see that Wallet One has scooped up 13.3 million Kaspa in the past 7 days. None scooped up today right now. Entity X here. Again, I'll come back full circle to this again in a moment, but it's another very interesting perspective on what's happening right now and the big addresses of what they're currently, the transaction flows, if you will, what's happening right now. You can even see here the transaction and what's taking place. We're seeing, we saw a big spike earlier, relatively big spike earlier of 14,500 transactions. Seen a last sense in the last hour or so, and so on and so forth. We'll come back full circle to that in a moment as well. But yes, Kaspa's doing well today, so hopefully it continues, all we can say. Yeah, we don't want to be a perma bear, of course. Again, I mean, Kaspa's been in a very, very long downtrend, and it could, again, we're not out of the woods just yet. It's great that we're up as much as we are. We're up about 50%, if not more, in the past, week or so, 50, 60%. But again, we're at 5.5 cents. We've been doing this for over a year now. We started at 20 cents. We're a long way away from the all-time high. So we can't get complacent, but we've got to understand that things are looking good. Buyers are now in control. So hopefully it continues. For all the catalysts to come out very, very soon, it's possible. We're seeing a relief rally right now with Bitcoin, which is fantastic news. And hopefully it continues with more developments and regulatory clarity coming out as well. Now, let's get into some content real quickly. So we can see here, to start off with, want to get into some macro fundamental stuff here. Apparently the Bank of Japan is preparing to raise rates as USD versus Japan yen is approaching 156 yen. This is quite significant because right now the yen is dropping significantly compared to the dollar, which means that it's going to favor those who want to try and utilize the yen carry trade method to basically utilize Japan's yen to basically get cheaper interest rates when they want to start making investments in US stocks and US economic assets. If Japan hike rates, it will affect the yen carry trade. So this could potentially result in some headwinds coming forward in the future. But be that as it may, right now, we are seeing some strength with crypto. And we even can look here that we aren't seeing it affect it too significantly right now. So if we see the Japan hike rates, this will come down. But we'll have to wait and see, because again, if the Fed Japan are going to try and find that sweet spot as well as the Fed. The Fed right now are anticipating them going to cut rates right now, going into December. in the next 2 weeks or so. If we see more rate cuts, that could also impact the yen carry trade. We see Japan come down a little bit. If that compared with the hiking of rates, we see that come down, so that could impact that and potentially see some more headwinds in the short term. But fundamentally speaking, for the long term, we'll see less pressure on the US economy, which is good and would help these risk on sentiment, which is what we want to see. And another news as well, just the last little fundamental part before we get to some more Kaspa content. Elena Terrett made a post here about debanking back in the spotlight after JP Morgan drops strike CEO. So this is something we spoke about, or people have mentioned to me previously that I didn't have the time to talk about, but ultimately this document here goes into more detail about how JP Morgan, the whole issue we saw with JP Morgan, right, where they decided to abruptly close accounts of Jack Mallers, the CEO of Bitcoin payments company Strike, which I'm sure we all are very well aware of the individual, about how we remember seeing a video from him when he talked about how Tron is too expensive and how Ethereum equally is just too slow and expensive as well. So he needs a better place for stablecoin transactions. That's why we talk about Kaspa being the best place for it. But ultimately, Jack Mallers here kind of made a public post of JP Morgan's message to him, made a public post about that, basically trying to get publicity to that and trying to say, why have you closed my account? For what reason? And funnily enough as well, Senator Lummis, who is, historically being part of Operation Choke Point 2.0 and anti-crypto, was actually supporting this. Lummis is someone so it's quite interesting to see that as well. JP Morgan spokesman declined to comment on Mallers' incident, but stressed that the bank serves crypto companies across this industry. So it's a bit of a back kind of thing. I'm then just trying to say, we don't want to comment on why we've closed his account, but we do serve crypto. Now, for me, that's be that as it may, I don't think that's substantial enough. I think it's just, again, it's just damage control. But because you could argue, because Jack Mallers is, an independent who created a Bitcoin payment company Strike. He's not buddy with institutions. They're serving crypto companies, put it already in their balance sheets, in their booking order. But either way, it's not ideal, and it did cause a bit of FUD, and you can list a whole plethora of reasons as to why this matters. While JP Morgan still reserves the right to make decisions about individual banking relationships, the revelation has raised concerns that banks may continue discriminatory practices against the crypto industry. They're also fueling renewed calls to reform the current anti-money laundering regime, which may view as outdated and prone to uneven treatment. So even though you've heard, JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, all them sort of saying, yeah, crypto's here, we're taking over, crypto's great, blockchain, yada, 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 they still want to control it. They still don't like the idea that people can be without them and do well. So, and this is actually a big thing we were speaking about earlier, again in my executive roundtable, because one thing that institutions are very, very concerned about still is the lack of regulatory clarity. They need this regulatory clarity, so they're still lacking it. And because of that, this sort of behavior is going to continue until we see regulatory clarity coming through. Banks are still going to be very hesitant. So the market, for me, while performing better, I'm not sure we'll see that explosive run until we get those regulations, which hopefully will be coming through next year. Time will tell, though. But this is, in itself, that is the very long and short of the macro side of things. Some potential headwinds coming through soon enough. But for the time being, the markets are taking a much needed breather after, almost 2 months straight of just negative downward price action. We're now seeing a much needed breather, which I think is fueled by the fact that the Fed are now being more dovish. Data's coming back a bit more reassuring for the Fed to start cutting rates again. And the end of QT is literally 3-4 days away now. On Monday, the Fed would have ended quantitative tightening, which would be a great relief for us as well. So we could see a bit more tailwinds in the immediate short term, which is good to see. And therefore, Kaspa hopefully will continue to make some gains. Again, if we can regain as high as 8-9 cents, that'd be fantastic. Until we comfortably surpass 12 cents, I won't believe we're in a, again, we could get past 6 cents, be fantastic here, this being an evident peak here. We can get past 9 cents, equally being a very critical zone there as well, and equally 10 cents. For me, this is the most definitive peak we've had as of late, back in July. until we surpass that, for me, this is like Kaspa's great, it's showing some bullish momentum, and we'll be continue preaching about it. Until Kaspa surpasses 12 cents, I don't think we're going into that confirmed, Right now, I think Kaspa's more leaning downwards still, just because of how the sentiment is in the market. It's not trying to be spread FUD, I'm just trying to act as the voice of reason, if you will. I'm still ultimately bullish on Kaspa. Make no mistake about that. I'll continue DCA and stack more Kaspa because it is by far the strongest asset in this space, and it's proven that right now. The community is proven that right now. The price being performing the past few days, past week or so. But until we surpass this definitive peak here of 12 cents, the Kaspa is more than likely to come back down. This for me is the higher high peak or the higher low peak. Right now, you've got these small peaks here, which is great and all. That you could argue is a higher low peak, higher low peak, higher low peak. Sorry, lower high peak. But either way, it's coming, like the peaks are coming down more and more. This would be a good sign of us now reversing on that regard. But until we surpass this one in particular, I still think that we could still see some downwards. I mean, again, prices go up and down, right? It's not as black and white as, oh yeah, we've passed one price, we're going up to euphoric prices. Like, it's always going to come back down. But this is good to see for the time being that Kaspa is leading the market, and that's proven again. Kaspa right now is the one that's leading the market in regards to 24-hour or in the last week price action wise, one of the leaders in the market quite comfortably, which is great stuff all around, truth be told. But yeah, hopefully Kaspa will start mooning and making all that gains back would be fantastic to see. Going back already to around 4.8 cents. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at all. Looks like we're still rallying on the hourly. If you even go back into a smaller time from a 15 minutes, we're still holding near this 5.6. So it doesn't look like we're already going back at all. Again, for us, what we need to see ideally is Kaspa hold above here. If you hold above here, then Kaspa's going to likely start seeing some more upward pressure. If you can hold above the support band, but we need to see a hold above it. I wouldn't care if it does give you more time to accumulate more anyways. I'm happy either way. So am I. What it was probably done with accumulation, they told Gate MXC to take down the sell walls. I mean, it's not a bad theory. I'm not entirely convinced as anything. Wouldn't be opposed to it. Wallet 1 here, last transactions came through from Gate on the 26th, which was today. Did that just come through? Did that just come through? Just refreshing the page real quick. 10 mil Kaspa, 26th of November, that's today. That was literally 30 seconds ago. Wallet 1 just bought 10.5 million Kaspa. Crazy stuff. Very fortunate timing there, I guess. Very fortunate timing. The last time they bought on the 23rd. So yeah, we caught it in real time that Wallet 1 just scored another 10.5 million Kaspa. Which is interesting. Again, buying from Gate, as we know, they've been buying a lot from Gate. And they now have 1.2 billion Kaspa in their holdings, which is huge. They have a crap ton of Kaspa. Equivalent to, I don't think, did they show the equivalent of how much that is? Yeah, $67.8 million worth of Kaspa. We still don't know who it is, Entity X, but we'll sure find a name soon enough. Some have speculated it's KRI, some have said it is a Begin blockchain, the parent company of Ice River. We don't know. We don't know. We'll find out in due time, I'm sure. But they're stacking more and more. But the price moving is good nonetheless. Welcome back, Banana Republic Bro. You're doing very, very well. I ain't leaving. I agree. I agree. The famous Wall Street quote, I ain't effing leaving, indeed. Fed meeting in 2 weeks, now 85% chance of a cut. Yes, that is, I think, what's fueling the market right now. There's still a lot of FUD and uncertainty, but the euphoric nature is coming back a little bit. I mean, you look at right now, there's still an extreme fear, but the idea now we're going to see rate cuts. Because originally what caused this negative price action with Bitcoin and the whole market was the strong belief that the Fed pivoted from saying 3 rate cuts this year. They went to only 2 now. They said no rate cuts in December. That's what caused this. It was a liquidation event followed by the Fed then around here saying no rate cuts. That's why you saw it come down more and more and more. Now you're seeing the sentiment of rate cuts flipping quite significantly due to some recent Fed speeches. And now it's like, okay, we are getting rate cuts. So if we do, then that's why you see the market's coming up right now. Talk about Nate Hart budgeting very, very well. Jay, do you know about the privacy swaps in Kaspa? I just saw something about it, so I'm out of the loop. I do not. I'll see if I can find some more information in due time. I'll reach out to my source and see if they know anything. But right now, I'm not too well versed about it. I think it has something to do with some sort of correlation to Zcash. I'm still not well versed, I'll be honest. So I will find out more while I can. Of course, I have been out of the loop myself a little bit over the past week or so due to my mum. But I'm now ready to get back into it again. Although, again, I am busy this weekend, but I'm sure I'll find time for it. Welcome back, Lau, brother. You're doing very, very well, my man. Kaspa have been forked, nodes in space, price manipulation, silenced by big money. Energy sector want to build on it, superior tech, and y'all think it's not going anywhere. I mean, couldn't say better myself. Although the node in space is not there just yet, they'll happen in the future. The Koni, Koni, Kaspa node in space. KI want to do that, but it's still in the pilot phase. I think they're going to try and launch it late 2026 with their original timeline. Welcome back, Falco Bro, doing very, very well, brother. And you too, Skull, just bought Kaspa at 0.33, which is fantastic, actually. I didn't even know Kaspa went that low. Maybe it did on some certain exchanges. If Kaspa went down to 0.036 according to the general trading view, but I'm sure on some charts it might have gone down that low, or some exchanges it did go down that low. But you got at the pivotal bottom there, for brother. So well done to you. 10 cents would be a very, very nice, rally, no doubt. A nice, almost 2-3x in value there. You see it come down that much? That's fantastic. So shout out to you, brother. QC won't stop being bearish until at 40 cents. That's not true at all. I said if you pass 12 cents, I am long-term Kaspa bullish, no doubt about it. I want to act as the voice of reason, right? I don't want to be the moon boy. That's the last thing I want to be. I don't want to be a moon boy because it's not needed. It lulls you into all a false sense of security. I don't want to be a moon boy to make you all, just euphoric all the time. I want to give you the good news, let you know what's happening, and gives you my sentiment, but it gives you a realistic outlook as well. Markets right now are in a period of uncertainty. We could definitely see it go either way at any moment. Bitcoin's rallying up right now, which is good. I think we see it go a little bit higher, which will help Kaspa out as well. But until we see Kaspa break certain key levels, like we've got some good levels here. These would be good levels, 10 cents, 9 cents. This is a critical one here as well. We've seen it time and time ago in Kaspa consolidated at the zone here of 7.2 to 8 cents. Damn, give me a sec. Just choked on nothing, apparently. Okay. Apologies for that. I'm tearing up now. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sure Mr. Musk's going to laugh at that. Yeah, I think we've got some critical zones we've got to pass through, but I don't think we're in that confirmed uptrend until we pass 12, 13 cents, which we haven't seen since the beginning of this year. Oh gosh. Apologies, family. Having a bit of a mare today. Who else was here for Kaspa when it was from sub 1 cent to 15 cents? This feels like them. I mean, it does feel very euphoric. Again, we've seen Kaspa make 50% in the span of 3-4 days. That's huge. That's very, very big. Proving that Kaspa, again, does definitely have a community of people who support it and still want to keep the price up. The buyers are very much in control, which is great. I'm sure we'll see this euphoric action continue into next year in regards to the sentiment about Kaspa still being one of the best assets in the space, with all the development coming through very, very soon. We'll get to that now, right here and now. So, as I mentioned already, and it's already announced on the IGRA Labs a week ago, they are now onto the next phase of their layer 2, where we're going to be seeing the closed mainnet and the kind of early mainnet launch and stuff like coming out December, going into 2026 next year, Q1. But for the immediate short term, IGRA will start with the process of open sourcing their code and releasing their node. And we have now got an announcement here. They're starting to open source their code bit by bit. This one here being the transaction protocol spec, which is now public. And I like this. I'm not as well versed into the in and outs of it, so I will be giving some from a summary to what I understand about it. But it's good to see this, and again, stuff that we haven't even seen the likes of Cashback still do. They've open sourced little to nothing about their code IGRA's starting to do it now, and they're not even on the mainnet yet. That's how it should be. I prefer it a lot more. But this here, if you can see here, talk about this document defines the requirements and interpretations rules under layer 1 submitted transactions of the IGRA protocol, transactions posted by the Kaspa base layer 1 and consumed by the IGRA execution layer 2. There's more detail about that here. Of course, you can access the whole GitHub document for yourself. I'll post this in my free Discord server. You should go check that out. Links down below in the description. But basically, just gives a whole rundown exactly about how, how the IGRA layer 2 will connect and transact with the Kaspa layer 1. Simply put, so they're piggybacking off the security of Kaspa layer 1 network. That's ultimately what they're talking about here. The whole thing. Long and short of it. I mean, you can read it all through for yourself. I don't want to get into too much of the specifics because I frankly don't feel like I need to. It's the understanding that they're just trying to now make it more publicly available to people understand exactly how IGRA are going to utilize and leverage Kaspa, which is just piggybacking off the security and their speed as well. You can see all the stuff here, stuff which a lot more, developer or builder savvy, which not necessarily as important to us necessarily as investors, but still important to understand nonetheless. All the stuff here, the different types and whatnot. But yeah, I think essentially IGRA are building a secure bridge between the Kaspa layer 1 and the IGRA layer 2. That's ultimately what this GitHub doc is about, just basically talking about how they're trying to bridge themselves to Kaspa, leveraging their technology, and they've got their ICAS, which is their IGRA token as well, which will be releasing in due time as well. That is great. Again, start on the open source progress, so we're now well underway with the Eldorado here, and we'll see how we progress from here on out as well, which is fantastic. This is again going to be coming out in Q1 2026, the mainnet, and I think this will also help in Kaspa in laying a solid foundation for more building on top of it. I don't necessarily believe again it's going to be a price catalyst. These aren't price catalysts. Look, I mean, 10 BPS did do something, but I mean, think about Cashback happened. What, it was around, was it early October? I believe it was. When did Cashback actually come out? I can't even remember now. I think it was. I know they kept delaying it time and time again. I think it was early. Was it early Q1? When did Kaspa come out? Did anybody know? Did anyone remember in the chat when Kaspa came out? I can't remember exactly the exact date, but I know that it was. I think it was. I know it kept getting delayed. I think like it was late August slash. No, I think it was late September, early October. And either way, though, the whole premise being when Kaspa came out, you didn't see a significant price pump, really. You didn't see anything really in regards to price. So again, it's a good thing, but it's not a price pumper coming out. But it's a good foundation building block for what's going to be coming out in the future as well. Is KRI Wallet 1 could be KRI. I'm not opposed to it being, considering their institutional clients. SGCC, PwC, DHL, Hyundai, Bosch. It could be them, but we don't know yet. I'm Wallet 1. I just love Kaspa. Fair enough, Rizzy. Fair enough indeed. Setting up their clients is Kaspa solve the world's money issue. I mean, I'm not opposed to the theory. Not at all. I mean, it would be interesting. And it would make sense to some capacity as well. I respect that the high conviction investment, but why XRP Maxi? Is that a Mr. Miles bot account? Because that's referring to me. I'm far from XRP Maxi. I don't own any XRP anymore. I used to, but during this whole corrective period, I sold it all. I made my gains for XRP already. I didn't seem the need to do so anymore. The XRP maximalist because XRP has been Ripple has been spewing this whole solve the whole world money issue for a long time. That Ripple has been about longer than Bitcoin. XRP has not been. Ripple has been out longer than Bitcoin. Bitcoin came out, and then Ripple came out piggybacking off the whole Bitcoin consensus with the Ripple coin, and then it transitioned into XRP. It's a big asset. It's a long-standing community. I don't necessarily believe that Yeah, okay. I had a feeling, Mr. Marsh. Yeah, you're not 013K, but you started moving about maybe an XRP Maxi. No, I'm not an XRP Maxi. Far from it. I don't own any XRP anymore. All I own right now is Kaspa and a few assets that I've measured to my VIPs. The XRP is centralized and it does carry its own levels of risk. Don't get me wrong, yeah, I hold assets that are centralized because I understand there is a risk to reward for it. I don't trust them, but I see a potential money to be made in it, and then I'll sell them and put it into what I believe in later on. I started Casper at 4.5 cents, was DCing up to 16 cents. Now we have to be patient. I agree. I mean, yeah, I've been in Casper for a long time myself as well. I've been buying up and down, and I've been buying a lot more. And particularly, I bought a little bit back here, kind of waited, kind of missed the whole top blast in regards to putting a lot more in. I bought some here, buying all the way down. I've scooped up more in this dip here than I have done ever in Casper, making the most of everything I possibly can. And now the market's looking better for it. So I'm happy that I got in when I did, honestly. QC is the new crypto mindset? Nah. No, by no means. I use more than just TA to judge my price action. If I use TA, hell, I'd be out of the market by now. Because TA right now tells you to be out of the market. TA is telling everybody now that Bitcoin is in a bear market because it's below the moving average. That's not true for a second in my belief. I think what matters more is the ISM, which is still not taken off yet. Wow, I don't know what exchange you use, Gold, but damn, that exchange just gave you a discount for some Casper, so shout out to you, brother. Fair enough, Mr. Marvel, have your fun, brother. I won't stop you. The guy that lives on the floor above me works for Binance. He said Casper will be listed on the 2nd of December. I mean, yeah, I figured you meant 2nd of December. I mean, sure. I'm not holding my breath right now. If that happens, then if that happens, expect a Kappa FOMO candle. If that happens, but I mean, we'll have our fun games. I don't care for Binance right now. I'll be honest. They'll list whenever they're ready. Whenever they're ready. What are the SUI and make it stack for Casper? What are the SUI and make it stacks for Casper? I don't understand the question, Nadar. Maybe I'm just not up with the lingo, but I don't understand what are the SUI and make it stacks for Casper. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't wrap my head around the question. I apologize. Maybe somebody else can. Apologies, Cryptony. You never got the notification yet. YouTube's funny like that. I don't know why. I think it's because yesterday I uploaded a video, the live stream, and then I re-uploaded the live stream myself. And YouTube have a weird thing where it does it anyways. Don't know why, but has a weird thing when you upload 3 times, notifications don't come through all the time. I don't get it. I don't know why. YouTube's weird. But I did make this announcement half an hour in advance. Like I made sure this scheduled it half an hour in advance. So why it didn't show people, I don't know. And hello, Mr. Miles, old account. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Big Money loves pumping the week before Thanksgiving because every family has a crypto bro to convert the normal families into buying some. Also not a bad. Yeah, you're not wrong though either. And actually, Thanksgiving starts tomorrow, so yeah, that's also why you're seeing a bit of a relief rally right now as well, just before the markets are going to start closing. Casper's launched September. Okay, so it was late September. Okay, yeah. So you look at September 26th, looking at here, look, did nothing. Like price action wise, did nothing. So just before the big crash in October as well. 10 BPS did cause a bit of a relief here. Right here, May the 5th did cause a bit of a relief, but yeah, the cashback did nothing. It's not to say that IGRA won't do anything either, but it's again understanding that these are foundation building blocks, they're not price movers. So when IGRA releases their smart contract mainnet, don't expect the price to necessarily pump. If it does, it wouldn't be because of IGRA, it'd be because of either macro sentiment or something else that Kaspa had, maybe a listing or something like that. Okay, sure. Whatever, Mr. Bars. Yeah. You guys have your fun, right? I'm gonna get into more of my sources right now. Honestly. So to get into next we have Suicide stack, min risk amount of crypto to have, make it stack, min crypto amount to become a millionaire. So back to your question here. What are the... What's the question? I saw up earlier here. Yeah. So what are the Sui and Maker stacks for Kaspa? Right. Okay. So what are the min risk amount of crypto to have, and then min risk amount to have to become a millionaire? Okay. Okay. Well, the minimum amount of crypto to have the Sui, so suicide stack. Okay. For me, I mean, it ultimately the question simply depends on your risk appetite, right? For me, I have a very, very strong conviction that 2026 is going to be a very big year. So my risk, I de-risked a lot of my other assets. I held on to Kaspa. Right now, as I mentioned to my VIPs, about a week or so back, I am about 50% stable / cash, and then basically 48% Kaspa, and then 2% other stuff right now, give or take. That's my risk right now, so I'm holding 50 cash because I think it could go either way, but I can use the level to DCA into it. Now I'm going to start DCAing more into Kaspa, I believe, as well. And then the make it stack, minimum could become a millionaire. Again, it depends on what you're holding and how high it goes. We have no idea how high it's going to go, how high Kaspa is going to go, how high anything's going to go. If you're holding crypto for this cycle alone, which would, let's just say for hypothetical scenario, it's Q4 2026. Let's say Bitcoin reaches 150k, it'll probably go a lot higher. If we are getting a whole year extension, I think it'll go a lot higher than 150. But let's just say it gets 150k, we get a 6 trill total market cap for crypto. Then Kaspa maybe in theory could reach 1% of Bitcoin, which would be if you're thinking about 3 trill market cap, then then Kaspa, I mean, Kaspa reaching $1, if we get a whole year extension, I think Kaspa reaching $1 isn't... I mean, again, I don't do proper predictions, so I think it depends. Oh yeah, I'm gonna let me rephrase all of that. So my suicide stack right now, the min amount to risk, I just have 50 in cash, and then elsewhere. I have 50 in cash, 48 in Kaspa, 2% elsewhere. And of course, my trading fund as well that I'm using when I'm trading with my VIPs, which again, we made over 1,000% gains last week. We did very, very well. We're still making more as well. My make it stack is just keep stacking more and more. It depends on, again, how much you want. If you're seeing Kaspa for theory reaching, $5, hypothetically speaking, then we don't need to have 200,000 for you to become a millionaire. So it switch over to Kaspa. So again, it's really, really dependent on what asset you're holding. You're asking how much you need to become a millionaire? Well, and actually it also depends on your region you live into. Because a millionaire, millionaire, right? But in regards to your quality of life, if you're in areas of parts in Asia, right, the cost of living there is significantly lower. You can go to Japan right now and you can spend £5 compared to 1,000 yen. That's ridiculous. That's really good for people who are living in areas that have a higher currency. But if you're living in the areas like UK or US, a million's not actually going to get you that far. I mean, it depends again on your quality, your lifestyle, but it wouldn't get you as far as you really, really want it to be. To have that, entry-date lifestyle, if you will. I've been on this question for way too long, and I think I've overcomplicated it. I think the suicide stack, I think that one is, just for me, it's 50% cash, and however you want to do it, that's what I'm currently doing. And then you make it stack. Depends on what you're holding and how long you want to hold it for as well. Hopefully that answers somewhat for you, Nadehart. One about the real layer 2 that includes real world asset, AI, DeFi, stablecoin projects, adoption will be mental. Yeah, I do wholeheartedly believe so as well. We're seeing more developments coming out. How soon it will be, though, will take time. So And Igor might be the platform for that. Maybe Kaspa will start getting more adoption. We'll have to wait and see. I told my friend yesterday the only way is up. I mean, yeah, sure. What's your opinion on Kaspa Maxi? Love it here. Best community, no doubt. Kaspa 58%, Cash 42% others. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Again, I have slightly more in cash, not by a great margin. Again, it's 48 Kaspa, 50 cash, stables even, and the 2% others. But yeah, I think that's my current SUI. We get smart contracts, we hit $5. We get all the developments, we do see Kaspa start to get more adoption, no doubt. Don't think we hit $5 immediately, but we do see increased adoption, and that would result in higher prices. But I think $5 is an inevitable future for Kaspa, in my belief. And stables seem to be coming as well, yes. If Kaspa goes to $1, I'll make $30,000 off of 50x long from $100. Well, if an exchange lets you take that out at least, who knows if an exchange will let you take that out? They hate let people taking money. Sobeys message on Binance now 3 million views. Not surprised at all. Not surprised. And they've still ignored it. Of course they have. 10% Kaspa, 1% cash, and others nothing. Well, that's your prerogative, brother. Your investment strategy. Then go for it. I'm not opposed to it either. Everyone has their own investment strategies right now. Some are treating Kaspa as their new unit of account. I know Kaspa Silver's doing a lot like that, so he's just putting more and more into Kaspa. If you want to do it like that, hold it really long term, that's fine. I treat Kaspa in a similar mindset, but I want to also accumulate at lower levels and also have a possibility to play around other assets as well, to then put more into my convictions like Kaspa. So I give Kaspa, in the situation that Bitcoin does plummet, I have cash now, so I can now buy at the lower levels. Now to get some more comments real quickly, we got this post here from Dr. Hyperek, just talking about what are VPROGs and why Kaspa is rallying at last. So just talk about all the stuff here as well. VPROG, well, we know what VPROGs are. I don't need to go into that more so anyways, but to go into the idea about why Kaspa is rallying at last. VPROGs aim to enable native programmability on Kaspa Layer 1. Where did they mention about why Kaspa is rallying? I looked at it earlier. Sorry, I'm just going through it again. I'm trying to remember. Okay. I am struggling to see exactly where it is, where he's talking about as of November 2025, VPROGs remain in the research and specification phase. The yellow paper outlined as ZK Layer 1 hybrid. Active discussions and Kaspa developer channel focus on pruning, compatibility, and ZK opcode integration. Recent ecosystem updates highlight its potential to flip the narrative for Kaspa, driving node growth and bullish sentiment amid broader market recoveries. Full deployment could render traditional smart contract obsolete on high-speed proof-of-work chains and establishing Kaspa as a leader in programmable money. Okay, so for the looks of that, again, I'll link this whole Dr. Hyperek post in my free Discord server as well. For long and short of it, looks like he's basically just trying to say that VPROGs still very much in the early stage, but in the belief that VPROGs do come out in soon enough, or whenever it may be, it would basically make every other smart contract functionality obsolete. It would make Kaspa quite comfortably the strongest layer 1 a leader in the space, and that in itself is driving bullish momentum because it makes Kaspa a clear outlier to what institutions are really looking for: scalable, sound cash, or a sound ecosystem to have security on as well. So that could be a reason why Kaspa pumping right now. The FOMO regarding people starting to pick up some tension, possibly. I already covered this as well about Super Typo making a new CAS-fi here called CAS Stream, which I think actually is maybe a bit weirder to get to grasp with first and foremost, but I actually like it a bit more so. I think it's a lot more thorough than CAS-fi, and also does have more of the tags added there as well. You can see Mexi, Bybit. So if you look CAS-fi, it's still not identified who some of these wallets are, but you have it here in regards to the wallets, and you have also the multiple wallets. You've got a Kraken wallet there, another Kraken wallet here, and a BitGet wallet, another Kraken wallet here. So you can actually see some of the wallets and who they are, which is good. So I like CAS Stream here as well. Now to get some other posts, sorry, crypto only, very quickly. Ondo have a big announcement here. They're excited to announce a 25 million investment in Figures yield bearing YLDS stablecoin. Yield is a very, very big thing that institutions are looking at very, very heavily. A lot of our premium insights and documentation in our VIP covers a lot about the bullish sentiment behind yields and about how institutions would actually get a lot more into ETS if they offered yield staking alternatives as well. So this is quite a big deal to see. Ondo again being one of the leaders currently right now in the tokenization space due to their partnership with BlackRock as well. And equally, you've got some Zebec updates here as well, how the Zebec network is now in the Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index, which is quite big, now one of 23 assets. So this could bring more eyes and investments portfolio in regards to Zebec here as well. Not got significant weight, only 1.55%, but it's still a start nonetheless. They're joining alongside Uni, Aave, Athena, Ondo, and many more. So it's good to see Zebec getting that exposure. That could help out in the future as well. Also, Dash Pay is coming to Zebec as the 19th blockchain integrated into them. You already got Octo on there as well, and the XRP Ledger and many, many others as well. Maybe you'll see Kaspa in the future. Ideally, you see Zebec on Kaspa in the future. I know Krypton is very much adamant that if that happens, then he start looking into Zebec. Otherwise, doesn't care about it, and that's fair. On December 1st, a user will be able to load and spend Dash instantly with Zebec here as well. And you can see here, also got a custom Unity card. So Zebec seems to be cooking some stuff as well. Some big offers coming through as well. So Zebec again is doing all right. Zebec actually is currently up 1.2%, not doing anything significant right now, but is currently testing this level of resistance here around the 3.5. We'll see if it can break above that or not going forward. And then you've got again Kaspa up 30. Kaspa's soaring right now. I'm hopeful and comfortable and convinced that Kaspa will hopefully finish today above 5.5. If it does, then I think Kaspa will continue and hopefully start making moves further up as well. But this is the key support zone for Kaspa right now. We need to hold, at least for the immediate short term, or just blow past it. That's also fine by me. But actually, we could look at was it Cast Lens? What was the? I've got it on in my community as well. If I go to the information channels, the useful websites, it is, where is it? Not Cast News. Where is it? Let's go to Cast Lens. I know he's got it here. Yeah, here, castlens.com. You can see what the order book is right now for Kaspa. Just looks to be very much in the greed area for Kaspa right now, which is not surprising. So you might see again a bit of a pullback soon. But the heat map right now shows a lot of where the sell and buy walls are. You can see it's a big sell wall here. Let's go to the 4 hour at the very least. Seems to be a big sell wall set up for Kaspa in and around the 6 cent zone, which is not surprising at all. Again, we hunted that being a critical zone. When it wants to load. Again, it's still a work in progress, but I like it anyway. So you can see here, so you've got a bit of a wall here. You've got some big ones here around this 5.9 cent zone here. Ooh. You've got some more up higher as well. So it looks like there are more sell walls now being set up in the belief that Kaspa does rally up a lot higher as well. Also around 6.3 and around 6.5 cents as well. So Kaspa will see a lot of, struggling going up. It looks like there's a big sell wall here, so Kaspa might be unable to break above this current price today. I'd be happy if it does, but it might be unable to do so today. But you might see that sentiment change tomorrow because the buyers are still very much in control and can send it a lot higher. But I have to hold for 20 years and be the old yacht guy with IT models all over it. Fair enough, Lizzie. I hope you can achieve that goal. Welcome back, Greg. You're doing very, very well, brother. Late but still here, I agree. But yes, finally, that does actually conclude today's Kaspa and crypto live stream. Ultimately, again, markets right now are looking stronger. I expect to see it probably continue in this regard going into December, and then where we go from there, we'll have to wait and see. I'm hopeful we see a bit more relief, but I don't think we see a complete blow-off rally yet. I think Kaspa can continue though. Hopefully, it does continue seeing this momentum. I think we'll see a pullback eventually, Again, it depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues holding as it is, Kaspa will likely start seeing its gain some more momentum. If it can regain this asymmetrical triangle, fantastic. That'll be another critical support, I believe. I'd love to see Kaspa manage to regain here as well. That'd be fantastic. And we'll see where it goes from there. And then, of course, your Zebec and Ondo and everything are still performing relatively well today with Bitcoin gaining momentum again. Headwinds are still ahead of us, but tailwinds seem to be picking up as well, which is fantastic. And the developers Kaspa still seem to bring up more and more and more with IGRA now open sourcing their code. All the stuff is looking reassuring for Kaspa in what is going to be coming out in the coming weeks and months ahead into 2026. I think 2026 is going to be a very, very big month, all things considered. That being said, family, hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. Check out all the socials and the links and whatnot. You can check out all the other documentation and equally participate in trading, where last week our members made over 1,000% in trades, in gains through assets like XRP trades, PEP, ETH, Solana, and many, many more. We've got some going right now, over 1,000%, and the reason why is because we have an expert trading team and the education to help you understand it all. So you can find all the information, join the VIP, 7-day free trial, plus if you use the promo code NOV8, you can get 35% off your first month. So get access to all the stuff in the VIP here as well. From weekly, we put in our weekly live stream earlier today as well. Very in-depth analysis of what's going to happen from now going into the new year and even from that point onwards as well. Trade alerts and much more. Check out all out, links down below in the description. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.